What's going on, fam? It's the entertainer, the motivator, the educator, Lucky Murray. And I am so glad to have this for y'all. This is part two of the interview because we did an interview what was it last? It was Sunday, I believe.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah.
And I did off my laptop. So two things about my laptop. One, it has a very terrible web camera. That's what I
Yeah.
get for paying $165 on there. And then it had audio feed. So as I was talking, I heard a very high pitched sound. So I said, I'm not gonna do this again. I can't. My first interview, especially on Zoom, that I wanted to present it, and it had to be proper. So I had to bring back DaShawn Shauntà for a interview, and this time she's released her EP, Yours Truly, which is only 2 records. It should be a single, but she calls it an EP. So DaShawn, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, actually. Super good. Getting a lot of love already from the music. A lot of people wanting to know like what inspired it, what it's about. Asking me why I chose to go this route with the music. Not really in a traditional sense, keeping up with what's normal hip hop, I guess, that's coming out. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it. I'm trying to be creative. I'm trying to think outside the box.
Yeah. And it's like I said that we gonna talk about yours truly, the EP. But for people that may, and let me go back to exactly when I first found out you did music. It was crazy. Uh, it was an artist that I would not say his name because I don't want him to get the clout.
Right.
He did a particular video, and he did a post or whatever, and you responded to his post, and I did a video of the topic with your response on them. And I guess I said, this young man, this guy, this bro, whatever. It was a male pronoun because of DaShawn. I didn't read
Right.
Shauntà, I just seen DaShawn. And
Right.
this dude corrected me. He was like, yo, first of all, she's a girl. So feelings, what I'm saying, heart in the stomach. And he was like, you need to check out her music. And I said, okay. When somebody comes on your page and say, yo, you need to check out her music, it's
Right.
serious.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, you know what? On Fridays, I want to do interviews, and I reached out to you and I listened to your music, and you instantly became one of my favorite artists. And I cannot explain to you your music and what it does to my head, but it's like the craziest thing. So DaShawn, just talk a little bit about your music, your journey, just all that good stuff, because as we talked last week, I know a lot more information, so I can kind of
Right. Right.
question
Right.
a lot better. So tell
Right.
the people a little bit about who DaShawn Shauntà is.
DaShawn Shauntà is I am me. That's her. That's my actual government name. It's the name I was given at birth. So I didn't sit around the table and we go, hey, what kind of name can we come up with? Like that's my actual legal name. Funny story behind that. When I was born, the nurse told my mom that she shouldn't name me that because she said she was giving me a famous movie star name that I would never be able to live up to. Jokes on her. And I'm just
Ah,
kidding.
yeah, yeah, nurse, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so I apologize, I'm talking over here. They got these band things on there, so I may not enunciate everything all the way, but I'm pretty new to this. I started kind of dibbling and dabbling in it in 2016. Wasn't really doing it seriously because I had no idea what I was supposed to do. I was just kind of just trying stuff, just let me see if I can record some songs. I think I put like 2-3 songs out max. But I didn't know anyone in Christian hip hop, so I really didn't know like where to go with my music besides Rapzilla. Like everyone knows about Rapzilla, but other than that,
Of
I didn't know
course.
how to get on playlists. I didn't know how to market, increase my audience, anything. And so I started following my favorite artists, and then I looked at who my favorite artists were following to basically try to see if I could understand like who should I be paying attention to in the industry, who should I be looking at to see maybe they can give me advice, give me ideas or whatever. And that led me to the infamous one and only Doc Watson, CEO over at RMG. Shout out Doc Watson. I just tweeted him one day. I don't even remember what he said, but I just tweeted him and said, "Do you have any advice for an upcoming female artist?" And he responded. He sent me his email. He said, "Send me some music." I did. Instantly, he was like, "You were super creative." He's like, "We got to keep in touch." keep making stuff, put it out for me, you know. But some space went on between our initial contact, and then I reconnected with him in about September of fall of 2017. And I was like, oh, I've been working on some stuff. He's like, yo, you're supposed to be sending me. So I was like, oh, my bad. I sent him three. Right. I sent him 3 records. One of them is out, Inertia, and then the other 2 haven't been released yet. He listened to the first song, Inertia, and he's like, oh, we gotta. I mean, like, it from there, that was a wrap. He listened to the very first song. And he was like, oh, we got to do this with you. We got to work this with you. So he has been working with me, mentoring me, building me up. He's like a man, everything for me behind the scenes. So it looks like I just kind of hopped on the scene in 2018, but really we've been working and building and putting together stuff since 2017. I mean, initially he was like, oh, we got to hook you up with Kardak. And I was like, wait, Kardak? He was like,
duck all that.
Yeah. I was like, oh, snap, you know. So, I mean, like a couple days later, a week later, like me, him, and Kardak are like on the phone, chopping it up, talking about music and songs. And I'm sitting here going, what the heck? Like, this is Kardak. I love Kardak, you know. Some stuff kind of came up and he wasn't able to, you know, keep on working with me as a producer. So I actually reached out and found my own producers. The first one was DJ Pez. He's the guy who you hear Derek Minor shout out on that good song, Astronaut. Yeah, Pez is a dope producer. We laid some stuff out, you know. Doc was working with me on the marketing, all kinds of stuff. And then June 1st, I dropped my very first single, Femme Fatale. You know, a lot of people liked it. I got a lot of support. Behind it, and you know, it just from there it's just been a stone rolling down the mountain that keeps gradually building and building and building and building. I can't leak everything, but it's definitely been building. And so, you know, if you haven't heard of me yet, you know, it's my prayer and hope that within the next 6 months to a year, you know, that I will be a much more familiar name, you know, in the community is what I'm hoping, God willing.
You know, no. And here's the thing. And that shows you how God was using you, right? You was a fan of Christian hip hop. There's some of us that's been listening to this. I've been following it since 2012. And I know there's people that's been listening to me or watch me that's been following and that's involved in it way longer than that. And they was like, what? You just reached out to Doc Watson and bruh hit you back and now y'all working. And I've been trying to send bruh and RMG, you know, music for years. And, you know, I can't even get back a automatic email. You know what I'm saying?
We joke all the time. It's like we laugh all the time about it. It was just God opened up the door, because I mean, like, even before I reconnected with Doc, I was for about a month or so, you know, like Mowgli the Iceberg was kind of like mentoring me, walking me through some stuff. I'll be the first one to tell you, I would not be recording at my house if Mowgli hadn't told me what equipment to get, where to get it from, and how to set it up. Like, I had no idea, no clue. And I mean, I was just talking and I was like, yeah, I'm going to the studio. And he's like, oh, you should record, you know, at your house. It's much more accessible. It's easier. And I was like, well, I don't know how to do that. And he's like, well, you should start. He's like, well, this is the equipment I use and this is what I go get. So I went and got that, and I've been recording at my house since fall of 2017. But if he hadn't, like, you know, broke it down for me and showed me, like, you know, told me where to go, how to go get it, I would have had no idea how to start recording at my house. So I mean, it's a bunch of people in CHH who I've been able to interact with and have given me nuggets here and nuggets there. And maybe they remember, maybe they don't, but all of these nuggets have like come together to create the DaShawn that you see thus far. And it's actually quite amazing, actually.
Man, and then I know last week you sent me the EP, yours truly, and it was a 2-track EP. I'm mad at you, DaShawn. Here's why.
Why? Why are you mad?
Okay, so 2 things. One, you're in Texas, so you would have to like do a show in the southern region, unless I'm somehow in Texas, to come see you perform. And you know, and I think that you will be able to. I'm pretty sure there'll be opportunities open up soon. And the
yeah.
EP is super short. It's only 2 records. And so
Right.
I was playing the records, just playing your record in my summer camp just to see the vibe that I got.
Mhm.
And you know, they was kind of chill, laid back, listening to it. One of my guys was singing the hook. I think it was to 98. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Catchy.
And yeah. So he was singing it, and he didn't hit the song 1 or 2 times. And I was like, this is a artist that I interviewed the other day. Or I'm going to interview. Her name is DaShawn Shauntà. Let me know what y'all think. Of course, they ain't let me know, but the vibe I got was like, oh, okay, this is legit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, and then you said it was 90s. You said it was
Throwback.
90s, a throwback, and I heard it and I was like, it's reminiscent like a 90s throwback with the beat and everything else, but it still remained originally you. So talk about a little bit about the EP, Yours Truly, and how you came up with these 2 songs.
Um, I just, to be honest with you, I really, really like music from the 90s. Because I remember it being like a little kid and not being allowed to listen to anything other than gospel music. Growing up, the only time I could like listen to non-Christian music was I had to be with my older cousins. So, I'll go, to Mississippi and go see my older cousins, and I'm riding in their car and they'd have on, Shaggy, Mr. Boombastic. That's the very first rap song I think I ever heard. And I just remember like, oh, I like this song. And so I like 90s music because I had to, I don't know, I guess sneak and listen to it. Sorry, mom and dad, if y'all watch this, but I liked it. I was very, very, very intrigued by it, probably more so because my parents were like, you can't listen to it. So I wanted to know, like, well, who's Tupac, who's Biggie, even though I'll be honest, I don't remember Biggie and Tupac while they were alive. I'm sure they were alive while I was born, but I don't remember seeing them on, TV or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing people talk about them, and they were talking about East Coast, West Coast battle and Biggie, Tupac, and then, I hearing people talk about Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and, and me going in my mind, I'm thinking like, who are these people? I don't want to be uncool, and not and tell, my friends like, well, I don't know who you guys are talking about because I can't listen to that music, So once I got older, like in middle school, where I had access to a computer, I started researching up and looking into these people. I was like, oh man, I like their music, Sister Act 2 changed my life. I mean, like Lauryn Hill, I was like,
and the funny thing with Sister Act is that I know the song, but I never really seen the movie in full. I never really seen Sister Act. Yeah, I seen it in bits and pieces. So just to know pop culture references, just like East Side High. I stand. Lean on me. Excuse me. And when they say this, when they say the East Side High, I never really saw the whole royalty. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I just listened to that part so that if somebody asked me about it, I was a little older, I can kind of feel important.
Right. I feel you, yeah.
And I think that's important, that music. It's funny because it was no holds bar for me as far as music, but I gravitated more towards R&B. Like I love New Jack Swing R&B. I love like late R&B, like New Jack Swing. And
I like that stuff too.
Oh my gosh, it's just like, and I listen to it, and then like Whitney, Mariah, Brian, Boyz II Men, like they all kind of came in the same time. Then you had groups like Jodeci, you had groups like Guy, you had Silk, you had Keith Sweat. You
all
had
those people, out at the time, and I was not. I would hear people at school talking about them, but I hadn't heard their songs. I'd heard with some of Whitney Houston stuff, but other than that, I you could play some stuff. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm still probably behind the curve on some of that. If you played and you're like, who is this? I'd probably be like,
Yeah, it's like who's a Keith Sweat song? You be like, I guess I don't know. It's funny because people that don't, and here's what my dilemma is having kids. You have the dilemma that it's like, all right, you have to decide whether you want them to listen to it or not listen to it, because they're gonna find out eventually.
That's true.
And it's like they'll find out. So when I'm in the van driving with my other kids, my son's in there, so we listen to the popular station on there. And me, I listen to it, but that's not like my musical choice. My musical
Right.
choice is more CHH or R&B. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
but I can hear the music and it gravitate towards me. So it's like it almost sinks into my soul. But I know how to decipher that. A lot of people don't know how to do that, and you have the ability to not take what's popular, but create your own style.
Hey, that's God given. That's all I can say is it's God given because God knows, like just me in general. If everybody is doing it, I'm not doing it. Like I can't tell you how many times I'll be like, and I won't do it. I'm like, oh, everybody's doing this, and I won't do it because I hate if I can prevent it being a follower. It drives me insane because I feel like I have too much individuality, too much creativity to follow after people. And some people are, well, that's very arrogant. I'm not trying to be arrogant. I don't know. Like, it just bothers me. I mean, it's one thing to do it, like, if you truly enjoy doing something, but I'm not going to go, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that's super trendy. Nose piercings are trendy.
Yeah.
I think they're cool, you know, but I'm not going to get my nose pierced right now just because it's the popular thing to do, you know. I got my ears gauged. I've had them gauged since 2015, you know. I don't know if they're popular now or not, but, you know, I got them done because I like them, you know, but I run into people that go, oh, I see you trying to be cool. And I just go, what are you talking about? Like, it's just me being me. So I'll tell you how I do it is I have no idea, and I'm just being straight up serious, what is on the radio station today. Like, I really don't. I don't listen to it. When I'm in the car, I'm either listening to songs on my phone or my music, and I'm not listening to my music because I think it's so superior. It's just I'm always listening to, can I tweak this? Does this need to be fixed? You know, like I'm always in some kind of artistic creative, you know, creation mode. You know, very rarely do I get in my car and just sit back and listen and just enjoy music. And I go, man, I need to start doing that more instead of just listening to it, trying to find ways to improve it. You know, creatives can be really, really hard on themselves. So,
Facts.
That's really all it is, you know, I just believe God of the universe can show me how to do something in a new and different way to where I don't have to sound and be like everybody else. And that's really what I strive for. And that's kind of what I stand by. And I don't know, it's kind of what I live by, but I've heard a lot my whole life that, oh, you're so different, you're so weird. And I used to go, why? But now I just say thank you. You know,
Absolutely. And you know, the crazy thing is this, and I had one of my kids, they was like, they called somebody weird. And I say, be careful about calling somebody weird because even though that person may seem different to you, it's not weird. Now, if you like doing some other stuff, okay, you can call that weird. But just because a person is different doesn't make them weird. It just makes them different. And do you feel any pressure? Because in CHH now, we're going to break down CHH.
Let's break it down.
It's a formula to kind of win. Almost sort of, because everybody's trying to fight for this same fan base to either get on certain festivals, which you all know that's not a whole lot of festivals that would take Christian hip hop artists, or churches that will come want to bring us in to perform and to pay us, you know, a certain amount of money. That well is kind of dried up. Do you feel pressure to want to fit in so that you can make this into a career? Or are you just doing this just because this is what God has led you to do and you really want to put your all into your music?
Well, I think that the whole thing, I would say, will I do this to make this career? Yeah, well, that's something God already showed me, that I'm going to have a music career. So I have peace and security about that. How I get to that point, he is showing me is not going to happen the way that I think it's going to happen. So I've already just stopped trying to say, okay, it's going to come like this. I'm just let it go. Do I feel pressure to fit in? Not at all. Not at all. If anything, I feel like my music is going to apply pressure. I have quite a few. I'm trying to think how I say this because I do not want to come off as being arrogant or stuck up. The way I just say it like this: your gift will make room for you, and I'm positive without a shadow of doubt. There's people higher up powers that be that know my name and I don't know theirs. And what I'm saying, I'm not saying that to be like, because I'm everything everybody's after. What I'm saying is when you're doing what you're supposed to do and God's opening doors for you, you know, people are going to take notice, okay? They're going to notice. Even the devil's going to notice and be like, oh, she's moving. Let me try to throw some stuff in her way. So I know for a fact that people are watching things that I'm doing. And you know, and maybe even learning from it, you know, because I call my mom every now and then and I go, Mom, why are people copying me? She goes, because God made you a leader. And I just giggle, but there are some things that I see that, like I'll take Facebook, for example. I remember this one or a couple of instances. I posted something about I wanted to go see Christmas lights. Nobody on my timeline had been talking about Christmas lights. Christmas, you know, was getting ready to come up. I was like, man, I'm about to go see these Grand Prairie Christmas lights. It's going to be cool. I posted, you know, I logged back in like an hour and a half later. And I'm not making this up. 5, 6, 7 people were talking about, anybody want to go see Grand Prairie Christmas lights? Everybody want to go see the lights? Man, I told them to go see the lights. I just remember thinking, okay, you know, but stuff like that. I mean, but the stuff like that happens all the time. I could be, you know, at work and be like, man, I feel like going to Mexico, you know, and then, you know, a couple days later, one coworkers be like, hey, me and the wife are thinking about going to Mexico, you know, where are you at?
Okay. You're like, okay.
And I go, well, all right, you know, just and you know, it really could be a coincidence. But it happens so often that I've kind of internalized it to mean that there are just some people that God has put on this earth that just have like this light that people are just drawn to, and they get to be put in this wonderful, stressful, humbling position of maybe being a role model and an advocate for people. Now, one thing about that is, though, I can't take any credit for that and say that it's me, because the things that are the best things in me, the things that everyone love about me, they all come from God. Yeah. So, you know, whatever's drawing them to me, whatever's making them go, oh man, let me watch her, let me keep an eye on her, she's interesting, all the best parts of me all come from God. Because you take God out of me, there's nothing good in me. Is there fun stuff in me? Yeah, but there's nothing good of, you know, value and stuff in me. And not to say that I don't have self-confidence. I'm just saying that I realize everything good, everything beautiful, everything pure, all my talents are God given. So I definitely think my music is going to put pressure on other people to think outside of the box. Because I mean, and Doc tells me all the time, he'll go, ooh, I like that. He's like, man, you know, how did you come up with that? And I was like, I don't know. I was at home watching Family Guy, and I thought, oh, let's make some music. And I was like, oh, let's do this. You know, some of these songs you hear, I wrote in like 30 minutes because I was so into it, and I just feel like what the song needed. I was like, let me do this. Let me make this song, you know. So I think it's gonna put pressure. No, I feel no pressure, none. The worst thing that I do see in CHH is the fans. Sometimes they can be super judgmental, and sometimes for no reason. You really got to get to know these artists. And I understand as fans, they don't always get to have access to the artists and get to like talk to them and get to know their personality. So when I see like people attack, was it like last year when RG put out
Raul?
Not this year. It was last year when he put out man, I'm blanking on the name of his Pleasant Hill. And he's putting out visuals. He's putting out visuals for it. And the one where he like beats his old self up, like he showed a representation of him being in a parking lot, and he
I remember that
old sinful self and the new person. Right? The comment section was brutal, but I think like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. Before that, he had come down to Texas for who was doing the show? Was it Aha Gazelle? Aha Gazelle was doing the show, and he came down to come support, and 1K was there. And so I spent probably almost like an hour talking to RG, just chopping it up. We met before, you know, just talking. And when you get to know these people, you know, and see their personality, I just could think, I mean, I felt really bad. Like, I was just like, man, if they only knew, like, the kind of sweet person he is and kind of like humble and like just real person he is, like they wouldn't say some of the stuff that they say about him. Same thing about Paris Caris on some of his stuff, where they, you know, basically attack Paris and says, I mean, Paris is a real humble dude who's really trying to do this for God. Like he really is. I mean, but you know, I get it. Fans don't always get access to artists on that level, like you know, other artists and stuff get to. But I would just say, like, the comment section, y'all, you know, some of these people are just, I don't know if they're reading the same Bible as me, you know, just because of the stuff that they jump to, the conclusions that they jump to. I just go, man, like, how can you say this about somebody that, you know, like, what fruits are they, you know, are coming out, you know? I mean, so that is one thing. Like, I've already been attacked. My song Femme Fatale, I'm serious.
What?
My very first song, Femme Fatale, somebody went in. He was like, "What does this song have to do about God? What is this? You know, how this isn't a?" And I just thought, and I just responded. I said, "Hey, you know, this is a song talking about avoiding temptation and bad relationships.
Okay.
And keeping, you know, your eye on the prize, basically, you know." So I talk about the Christian lifestyle and God. So I'm saying, like, I think maybe people want me to just always be like, God is so good, God is so holy. Well, that's praise and worship music. And I'm not, and I like praise and worship music, but I'm doing Christian hip hop, and I'm talking about the everyday, day-to-day struggles. Find me somebody that is like, God is so amazing every single day. Wouldn't that be wonderful? But we're humans. We got emotions. We got issues that pop up. There are some days that I'm just like, God, I don't understand. There's some days that I feel like my faith isn't as strong as it needs to be. And I address those waves and those ups and downs. I address what is it like trying to date somebody and not have sex? Do people not understand how hard that is? Like, but there's people out there that are trying to do that, and they need to hear songs and need to hear encouragement from other people saying, yeah, man, like, you can avoid, you know, getting one night stands. You don't have to, you know, use your body as the only means to get a guy's interest. You know, we need those types of songs for that. So, I mean, for the Christian lifestyle, we have a lot of stuff for church. But I mean, like, for the Christian lifestyle, you know, we need stuff that addresses that. Like, when I'm angry because somebody says something racist, you know, or this whole immigration debate, you know, we need music. That's why I appreciate what RG did with his last drop, and he talked about immigration, how he feels and how he felt about that, because that opened up some doors, some feelings. I can appreciate Aha Gazelle and Lecrae bringing up issues and struggles in the Black community, because, you know, it's weird to me. I was just talking to Doc about this about a couple hours ago today. Like, hey,
hot off the press.
Like I want to be proud. I won't say proud. I want to be able to show the fact that I am proud to be who I am as a Black American. And some people equate that with being anti-white. And then you have some Black people that equate being an evangelical as being anti-Black. And so we have to stop putting people in this one-size-fits-all category, because there's evangelicals out there that love being Black and love Jesus. All right? Like, we can't say, right, like, you know, I don't think it's fair to demonize all white evangelicals as being racist, but I don't think it's fair to demonize all Black people as being Black power, pride, and want to just kill, you know, white people. Like, I do think that racism should be addressed and talked about in the church community. I mean, because I don't understand how you can love God and hate somebody because of their color of their skin. Like, what Bible are you reading?
Yeah. And, you know, and DaShawn, you're very nice. I love the comment section. When somebody come at me, I'm super sarcastic. I'm super sarcastic in person. But I'm more sarcastic online. You know why? Because I know you ain't gonna come to my house and you ain't gonna want that smoke, okay? Because
That's true.
I tell people all the time, like, I'm a Christian, but yeah, I have feelings too, and you can get
Yeah.
these holy hands. You know what I'm saying? Like facts. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
I feel you, but people need to think about the fact that we are humans too, man, and you don't understand all you do because you're fellow artists too. There's so many hurdles that you're already having to deal with. There's nothing worse than having a random person who knows nothing about you critique your whole lifestyle and love for God down to a 2-minute and 20-second music video.
Absolutely.
It's so unfair.
Yeah. And even that, it's like, dude, like when I'm doing my music, it's subjective. Music is subjective, you know?
True.
Your opinion of my music may or may not help me because of your view of the world. You know, now if you sit down and give me constructive criticism, then I can take that. But if you just over there, hey man, this sucks. Why does it suck? I ain't like it. You're garbage. It's like, oh, okay. I had an artist accuse me of saying that I was doing these videos to promote my garbage music. And I said, really? Really? First of all, my opinion is my opinion. And I even hold back some on my opinion because I do want to be respectful. Now I could go in here and speak reckless and try to get, my numbers up based off controversy, but that doesn't do any good because at the end of the day, I'm a man of God. And I don't want to cause division. I just want to use the platform that God's given me responsibly. And I totally agree with you. I think that those comment sections, hey, I love it. It's super funny.
Not me, man. I just want to avoid it because I internalize, a lot of stuff. And I mean, because I'm a very, very emotional person, and that's part of what helps me, in my opinion, write the music that I do. Is I take my emotions and I put it into the music. So when you hear this music, like you're like hearing, I'm like sharing like a literal like piece of me with you. So if you reject it, you're not rejecting my song. I'm like, oh, you're rejecting, me per se. And a lot of times the music is vulnerable. So now, not only have you rejected me, you rejected me in a vulnerable state. And maybe that was a weak state. Maybe that was a state that was really hard to share in the first place. And now I can't trust, society to handle like me at my worst. That's the worst thing about it is a lot of these artists sometimes feel like they have to wear masks. Like I can't be authentically be who I am without people thinking, like, oh, like I'm falling away or like I'm leaving God. But then on the other hand, I don't want to give some of these artists a pass because some of these artists know what they're doing. They know what they're saying, and they are intentionally saying stuff that's, I'm going to say, it's not contradictory. It's just stuff that causes discord. And, in the Bible, one of the things it talks about things that God hates is people that sow seeds of discord. So, I mean, when I sit down and think about it, what if somebody misses out on heaven because their only sin was they just kept sowing seeds of discord? Like, what a horrible way, like if you're going, I feel like if you're going to miss out on heaven, like, man, you need to live it up. You need to have fun. I mean, do what you got to do. Like, don't try to live and then be like, just to get them like, oh, sorry, you were so of discord. You love to gossip. You love to cause controversy among the brothers. You love to stir things up. I mean, what a waste, There's a lot of people, and I won't lie, I have muted some people, artists, producer people that I follow because I can't handle some of the stuff that they say because it affects me too. Because my initial reaction is I want to be like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Do you understand what you're doing? Do you understand what you're saying? Like, what's happening? Like, do you not have God in? Like, what's going on? So for my sanity, to keep me, and so that I don't view them as being beneath me or somebody that I'm like done with, I just have to mute them and just pray and be like, God, do what you got to do for them. But I really do pray from like, God, I really hope that you put a mentor in their life to, help them make better decisions, or that you would open up their eyes and show them, how to make better decisions, or help them with this. If they're struggling with that, help them with that. Like, I really do try my hardest not to write them off of one bad post or one bad comment, or, but some people, they know what they're doing. Let's just be honest. And they're just trying to what can I get away with? They're trying to get away with being as close to the bad line as they can while staying on the good side.
Absolutely. And then when you
But
call
it
them
is.
out,
Right.
when you call them out, it's like they want to
You're
be
judging.
gospel. Yeah, they want to be
Yeah.
judgmental, or they want to be gospel gangsters. I'm not, no disrespect to the gospel gangsters that, the Christian hip hop group, but like legitimately, they want to come in your DM and talk about some, you know what I'm saying, texting you in all caps. Like, brother, slow your roll, okay? Stop yelling at me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get it. And I think that for the most part, you got to understand that's a very small percentage of,
Yeah. It's not a
you know,
lot.
no,
It's
but
only a handful.
it
Yeah.
is. It is. I mean, when I
Only a
first started my
handful.
YouTube channel, I used to get killed just by just me being real, just me being authentic, and people would come at me. So what I do, I go back at you. One dude, I wrote a blog post the other day, and I said, "What you think about it?" He was like, "Nah, that ain't it." And I was like, "Well, I thank you for your opinion, but I still like it anyway, so it stays." And he was like, "How do you try to ask somebody for their opinion and they get mad when they give it to you?" And I was like, "I'm not getting mad, but at the same time, it's like, give me some constructive criticism.
Right.
If you don't like it, don't just say it's not it, because I don't take that. I don't receive that. And even if your constructive criticism is something that if I can use it, I'm gonna use it. If I can't, I'm sorry, I just can't. But at the end of the day, it's an opinion. I just, but I do agree with you. I hate when artists, they go up here and they do stuff just to get a reaction, or because we had it for a while. Well, clout chasing was big in the mainstream. Clout chasing ran rampant in CHH, and people would do stuff just to clout chase. I'm like, dude, like, clout chasing is only a temporary means to just a problem that ultimately you're gonna have to still address anyway. When the attention is gone, if your music doesn't add up, nobody's gonna be checking for you. At the end of the day, it's like, but good music speaks for itself, and your music is speaking for itself.
Well, I will tell you, I have already had, in just a short time that I've been out, I have had some people that, already don't like it, which is fine because, everybody's not gonna like it. I've already had people say, oh, you need to do this or change. But I mean, I don't know what to say. I got to make the music the way that God gives it to me, the way that I hear it, the way that it represents me. So, if it's not your cup of tea, then I just have to get to the point where it's not your cup of tea. And I mean, I say that now with a lot of, confidence, but there was a good couple of months where I was so frustrated because I was like, dude, what is happening? And I have to be honest, pride is something every artist has to deal with. I had to deal with because I'm not gonna lie. I came out the gate super prideful. Like, man, my music gonna blow everybody out the water. Like, look, already got such and such following me. Already got such and such following me. I got one song out. They already following me. They already watching my, like, I was just ego hyping, just really into myself, And I'm just gonna tell you straight up, I was at church and I was like, man, I really want to see my music like expand. And sure enough, I promise you, the Lord was like, your music is not gonna grow until you humble yourself. And I thought, I mean, at first I was like, what? I really wasn't thinking that because I was like, what are you talking about? I'm super humble. I started listing off stuff, to prove that I was humble. I was like, man, when someone's having a bad day, I text them and check on them. If someone needs money, I loan it to them. I just started listing off all these deeds and stuff that I do to prove the fact that I'm not humble. But what God was talking about was in my mind, like I already had a very, 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 very prideful spirit to where I wasn't even like trying to hear any songs that a lot of Christian artists were putting out because I was like trash.
Hey, keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. Yeah,
I'm being 100% honest with you. I was just like, it's gonna be that same auto-tune, trap beat. I don't know what they saying, mumbled stuff. And I would listen to the first 20 seconds and go, yep, sounds like everything else they got. And I would give it a chance, like, yep, sounds like it. Like, yep, sounds like it. And I would just dismiss it. I wouldn't take time to think about all the work, all the effort, what's the story behind it. I would just go, I think mine's better, and immediately dismiss it in my mind. Now, I wasn't saying it out loud, but in my mind, I was critiquing the mess out of this person, that person, you know, whatever, you know, I really was. And I started to understand, you know, what God was trying to show me, because he was just like, well, I gave you the gifts. I'm opening the doors. Why do you feel that you have the right to down talk what they're doing? Under what reasons? Like what gives you the right to just sit here and critique and tear their stuff to shreds in your head and just completely ignore it? Like, what did you do? And I started thinking, you know what? God, you're right. So then I started having to really humble myself and get to the point to where, I mean, because let's just be honest, there are some artists out here that will tweet and be like, oh man, go check out my bro Lil Peach's music, man, is lit. They haven't listened to the song. They don't care.
Nah.
They're just tweeting it out. They're tweeting it out because one, maybe they're trying to, you know, show support in the hopes that when they drop their song, Lil Peach tweets their stuff out. Or, you know, sometimes they just tweet it out because they're like, well, I met this person. I don't want to seem like I'm not supporting it. But in their mind, they're like, this song is stupid. You know, like, this song is dumb. And they tweet it out and they let it go. And they don't really care about it. Like, mentally, emotionally, they really don't care. They're really not supporting it. They're just doing it on social media to make it look like they're supporting you, but in reality, they're not. They're talking about your music. They're talking about your stuff, you know, behind closed doors. What I've said, I haven't been in this industry long, but, you know, I've met people and whatever. And I'm not saying like as soon as, you know, off of social media, all the artists get together and trash talk each other. Not saying that at all.
Yeah. They probably do, but you're not saying it. DaShawn Shauntà is not saying it. You know, I got you.
Some of them might, but I keep my circle small. If I feel like that's even gonna be the deal. Like, I try to, let's just be honest, are there cliques in CHH? Yeah. There are cliques.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because some people make it seem like cliques. We're all together in the body of Christ. There's no cliques. I said, yes, you give your. It's supposed to be, but it's okay, because you don't have to win in the cliques. You know what I'm saying? I think people get so discouraged to be like, oh man, I'm not in this clique. You don't have to be. You make your own way, you make your own path, and God will supply the means. And after a while, they be like, wait a minute. You ever see Hey Arnold? Oh, you see Hey Arnold, right? You ever watch Hey Arnold?
Yeah, Hey Arnold. Yeah.
You remember the episode where I forgot the girl name, but she had the cool kids, you know, list at the time, right? So everybody wanted to be on the cool list. So if you wasn't on the cool list, she'd scratch your name out. So she would have had to select. So Arnold was like, look, we're gonna have a losers party. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna come to our party, right? Because he wanted to encourage everybody else. All the losers or whatever. So she was scratching people off the list or whatever. She scratched her best friend off the list because she did something, and everybody's going to Arnold's party. So she comes up there and she said, I want to come to the party. Well, you got to say you're a loser. She says, I'm a loser. And then it was like, yay. But it shows you that, look, if you do what you're supposed to do, people will flock to you. You don't have to flock to that. That's my little rant about cliques and how people cry about their music not being put on. You know, you hear that too. Like, man, nobody wants to support.
I mean, some of the complaints are legitimate. I will be honest and say I'm not just gonna trash talk and say anything like that. But I will say sometimes it is about who you know. If you know the right person, sometimes that can help get you over some of these hurdles and stuff that other artists and stuff have to be, you know, are faced with. I can't tell you how many times, you know, I'm not following a lot of Christian hip hop artists on, you know, on my platforms and stuff like that. I really only follow people that I personally know or I personally like. I don't just follow someone just because they follow me, you know. So people that do that, that's not how I operate, you know. Because I've actually had people get mad and say, "Why aren't you following me?" And I just said, "I don't even know you," you know. Like
you gotta follow them, DaShawn. You gotta know that. You gotta know them. You gotta follow them. You know what I'm saying? It's the rule of the game.
Well, no, but I told him, I said, I am so sorry that, you know, you're at a point in your life where me not following you has lessened your validation. You know, and I pray that one day you can get to a point to where you're okay with people not following you. You know, and sometimes, let's just be honest, I don't always get the notifications. People are following me. I have no idea that they're, you know, that they're following me, and they might like something. I go, oh snap, you know, I didn't know. You know, it's not. Sometimes it's not personal. So that one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible that my mom says to me all the time is, "To the pure, all things are pure." So maybe it's time that we just start assuming that people are actually meaning the best instead of meaning the worst. So if they don't follow you back, let's not assume it's because I'm not big enough, I don't have enough clout. That's what the very first reaction you want to think, because we're in a society that, you know, basically bases your popularity on likes and follows and stuff like that. But, you know, let's just assume that people are human, and maybe something happened. They meant you, they didn't know you. Just because they don't follow, like Theo Blue, I'll follow him on Twitter. Dude is he's our friend. Like, he really is a friend. I mean, we follow each other on Instagram. We talk, you know, every now and then, you know, keep up and chop it up and laugh and do stuff. But yeah, I don't follow him on Twitter. But anytime that stuff comes across my timeline, I'm supported. I support him, you know, but whatever. He's not gonna cry because he's not following me. I mean, like, it's not, I'm trying to say, like, move past it, people. Like, we have to get to the point. Some of us are so stuck. And I'm saying this because that was me at one point, on the small things, like in the grand scheme of things, the small things, like how many Twitter followers do I have? How many Instagram followers do I have? Okay, but how much real engagement do you have? I don't have 4,000 followers in Instagram, and I'm fine with that. But every day, I get 5 to 6 or more messages from fans commenting on either my story or a picture, you know, interacting, and I talk back to them and I engage, and that number keeps going up, or them sharing something or asking me a question. And I like that natural engagement. I love that. I don't think that I'm too big not to respond back to these people, because let's just keep it real. Like, who am I at the end of the day? I'm nothing but a walking skeleton that's covered in dirt, and as soon as I die, I'm gonna go back to the dirt. And what's gonna stand when I'm gone? No one's gonna stand and go, "Ooh, she had 1 million Instagram followers. We really gotta respect her." No, they're really gonna look at, like, my lifestyle, like what I was doing to try to impact, what I was doing to try to make a difference. So, you know, this music thing is just, you know, y'all don't let the devil, man, like, get in your mind and make you think, if they're not supporting you, if they're not riding for you, that, you know, life is over, and that, oh, you're not good enough and it's not your gift, because that's the first place that your mind wants to take you. But everything happens in a season. There is a time to everything. Okay, a time to every single thing. But if it is not your time, if you're in God's will, I'm sorry, he's not going to let it happen until it's time. You can mumble, complain, it's not going to happen, you know. There's some growing you got to do.
And if you've done a lot of growing in these 2 short years, you've been putting out, it's like, it's funny, I've been rapping like for years, like, really? And man, but it seemed like for me it was different. I know God had to humble Lucky, because if Lucky would have put my first record out and Doc Watson would have hit me up, I would have had the biggest head ever. Like, yo, I'm about to blow. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to sign the RMG. You know what I'm saying? I'd have put Lucky Murray RMG on there just unofficially. You know what I'm saying? Shotting the homies out. I'd have been, it wouldn't have been good for me. But I'm telling you, like, I realize now that I love the platform that I'm building, because I'm with you. Like, I may have 50 views or whatever, but people on my page are super engaged. So I'd rather have 500 to consistently views, and people consistently want my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is what they're doing now. I didn't think nobody would listen to me. I'm just in my room talking junk, you know?
Right.
But so with the EP come out, DaShawn, what else that we gonna do in 2019? Is there gonna be another full-length album? Are we gonna have a signing from RMG? What I just had to throw that in there. Like, what's gonna happen this year? Because you got something up your sleeve that you're not telling anybody right now.
I can't. Man, no man knoweth the day nor that.
No, spiritualize the days, man. Yeah, okay, I got you.
Well, I mean, the one thing I will tell you about me is I like surprises. I like surprising people. I like being unpredictable. That might get me in trouble. That might be people that go, ugh, you know, like, I don't like, you know, I don't understand. There's not a pattern. There's not a method of madness. There is. You just don't live. You just don't know. You can't see it yet. What's coming up? Who knows? I mean, a lot of it really depends on it depends on the response that I'm getting from, the fans and the audience and the platforms. If it keeps building and keeps building and keeps building, well, some things just, build on themselves. A bit when you sign, the point of signing, you're signing because you've reached a level to where you can't go higher really with the resources that you got, and you need the label to come in with their resources and help you reach a bigger platform.
Yeah.
Have I got to that level yet? I don't think so. Are there have conversations been thrown around that, oh yeah, of course. But
snook it now. Okay, now y'all heard it.
Conversations have been thrown around, but
around.
I'm not saying that, anything has happened. Right now I am 100% independent, but I work a lot with Doc Watson. He really is like a mentor, everything to me. So I mean, he would be the one person on this earth that I would credit with my music career, other than God. I mean, God first.
Absolutely.
God person. Like he really is. He does so much, and not just for me. For a lot of your favorite artists, behind the scenes, you would be really quite surprised how many people RMG and RMG Amplify have stepped in to help. Wait till y'all see the people that they're gonna be announcing. Some of y'all gonna be like, "What?" Y'all gonna be real surprised.
The funny thing is, I've been on record. Just saying stuff because I'm a fan at heart. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we don't know the inside scoop about everything else. So I speak sometimes in ignorance because I don't know the whole inside. Right. But one thing I can say is that RMG Amplified is doing something that no other record label is doing to CHH, which is they seen the problem and they feeling the need. But the crazy thing about it is that here's what we want to do. We want to have people come save us, meaning that we want record labels to take us from zero fans and make us superstars and expect the record labels to benefit from it. And if they don't benefit from it, it's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Like the glory to be God. But if they take money, it's like, wait a minute now, brother. Hold on now. You can't take X amount of percent. So I feel like as artists, we need to come with something to the table. Don't always look for a handout. If you got 200-300 fans and a record label seeing that, those 200 to 300 fans, they can use that like, okay, if he get 300 by himself, we can multiply that to be 600. We can multiply that, and because we know he's gonna do his part. So man, that's awesome. I think that you are on the radar. You are on my radar as far as like, look here, if you don't sign, and the only reason why I say that because I think that is that your social media game can go up another level. I think that your music is awesome, but I think that what's lacking is the social media game that can kind of give people, because you have a great personality. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Listen, I'm 100% on a boat with you. I have said from day one, my weakest area is marketing. I hate having to be like, hey, here's my song, come listen. Because to me, it feels like begging. And that could just be pride. That I'm like, I'm not begging anybody. I'm not begging anybody to listen to my stuff. Like, my favorite artists never had to beg me to listen to their stuff. Like, once I found out about them, I liked them. They didn't have to beg. They just had to like, hey, I'll put some new music out on it. Like, I'm going to listen. I don't know. Maybe it is a pride thing. I don't like going on social media feeling like I have to beg for someone's attention and time. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't like it. But at the same time, I'm also understand that I don't fully understand everything and what it takes to do really good and the best marketing. I know that I don't. And so I will tell someone up front, like, that is not my strong area. That is the area that I'm the least comfortable in, the area that I least like. Now, in person, I'll talk to you all day. Like, hey, what's up, man? Let me check, but social media, I don't know, because social media is like a vault of all of your best and worst mistakes and thoughts and pictures, like frozen in time, and you can never take it back. So once you put it out there, it's there forever for people to come judge you over and hold over your head and use against you. And I got enough, you know, stuff in my day-to-day life that people can use it. I'm like, why do I want to give people more ammunition? So I'm not a huge fan of marketing and talking a lot on social media about myself and about stuff. But I understand I need to say more stuff because, like, again, I just had the conversation today earlier with Doc. He's like, hey, such and such, this platform, they want to know more about you. Like, they're trying to find stuff, like, send me some articles and write-ups and stuff about you. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, people want to know about me, but I like stuff to be organic. I don't always know what to say, you know, like, other than, hi, I'm DaShawn, you know. I like music. I like tacos.
It's like, so DaShawn, how you doing today? I'm straight, you know what I'm saying? But in person, like, why you do that? Like, I just get camera shy, and I get it. And I think that with social media, it's just the it's just really just a continuation of telling your story and letting people know exactly, you know, who you are, where you at. But it's very difficult, especially as an independent artist, because I think we've been trapped into thinking like, yo, we got to go for the big bang, instead of you saying, look here, you know, every day I get 6 to 7 messages a day when people responding to my message. That is progress. So you're doing something, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like you just got to I mean, and then too, that may work for you. You know what I'm saying? There's no rules. Like, people don't realize that. Like,
right. There's a lot of different ways.
Yeah, because people don't know nothing really about you. It's like, oh man, she's mysterious. You know what I'm saying? Like I wonder what hat she's wearing. You know what I'm saying?
That
like, you know,
yeah, that's kind of the thing I get. People are just like this. They're like, who are you? I'm me. You know, I don't know. And then that's the flip side of that coin is where I don't like begging people. I also don't like going into too much detail about my life because to a lot of people it comes off as bragging, because like when I actually do start to dive into my life and tell them about life experiences and what I've achieved thus far, a lot of them look at me like, what? Like who lives a life like that? So then I feel like it's bragging. So like I feel like I'm right. So I mean, I don't like to talk about always the accomplishments and things that I did, because, you know, in the past I've gotten pushback. People like, you're bragging, you just think you're so much better. And I'm just like, it's really? Not even like that. I really have, you know, I cannot help that I grew up in a 2-parent house. I'm sorry that my parents were married and they're still married. And, you know, I grew up in a house. I didn't grow up and I didn't live in an apartment. And I'll be honest, I'm gonna share something. I didn't know people lived in apartments until I was like 10. I thought everyone lived in a house. Because my school, library, everything that I had to interact with was the church that we went to was surrounded by houses. So I saw apartments and I was like, well, I don't know. And I saw like TV shows that have people in apartments, but, you know, I had never been inside one. None of my friends they all lived in a house. So I thought everyone lived in a house until I was like in the 5th grade. And then I was like, oh, you know, when they finally built some like in my neighborhood area, and I was being like, oh, what are those? And then my mom's like, those are apartments. And I'm like, is that like a room?
It's like a room you stay in for a day or so? Like, what happens?
I grew up, I want to say pretty innocent. I was not exposed to a lot of, so my mom, of street stuff. So my mom, what I say, like, she's like, you're intelligent. She's like, you have a super high IQ, really, really a lot of book smart. She's like, but you don't have a lot of street smarts. So my parents did worry about me when I first moved out, because they were just like, oh, DaShawn's too naive. She doesn't know what all this is or what that means. And they
don't know what apartments are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you know, I was 10. I know what they are now, but I'm just
no, I
saying,
know.
like,
I'm just joking with you. Yeah,
just
like,
you know, but there were just things that I had just never been exposed to, and I didn't see. You know, my parents kept us away from stuff. I'm talking about, like, if we're watching TV and a sexual scene came on, you have to leave the room. You know, so I'm talking about, and Love and Basketball. I have to bring up Love and Basketball. That was my movie. And so during that scene where, you know, they were like in the bed, I remember watching it, and my parents been like, go upstairs and go put these towels up. And I'm being like,
What? The towel?
It's so annoying. So it wasn't until I got older that I actually saw the whole movie and I was like, oh, this is why they sent me out. I mean, I knew that something was taking, I knew obviously that something was going on, but I had never seen the scenes because my parents would be like, oh, go out, leave the room.
You're like, I get the towels again, Mom. You just go get the towels.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
And it's kind of funny because now that I'm older, if I'm watching a movie or something with my parents and something like that comes on, I get so uncomfortable. I'll just get up myself and start start cleaning something and start being like, oh, like I'll strike up a conversation and be like, so Dad, they changed the tax code, just something really detailed and in depth, like, oh, I found that I had cancer yesterday. So, something to like distract them because I get so uncomfortable when it comes on with my parents. I mean, whatever.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Little insight into my childhood.
It's funny.
But I'm saying, like, some people, they think that I'm this spoiled little rich girl who never had any issues and stuff like that. And it's not the truth, man.
You know what, DaShawn, and I think that's a good thing that people think that, oh man, that you haven't went through anything because in their minds it's perceived, well, like she got a 2-bedroom house. You know what I'm saying? She stayed in the house. She didn't know what apartments were. Like, come on now. First of all, I was 10. You know what I'm saying? I do know what they are now.
Or excuse me, I was 9. I was 9 in 10th grade. I was 9.
You was 9 in 5th grade?
Yeah. I graduated early. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? A year early. And I was a year late. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened. Like they said my birthday was in November. So I had to start school at 6. I didn't know.
Well, I see, the funny thing is my birthday's in August 9th. I was supposed to be born in July. I came 2 weeks late. And so my parents have always made the joke that DaShawn does everything on her time, on her schedule. Because they're like, they were just like, and that honest to God really is my personality. If you try to force me to do anything, like take music, for example, if people start being like, oh, I want trap stuff, I'll do it if I feel like it, but you're not going to make me, do anything. I'm going to do what I want to do. Like, I'm a grown woman. Like, you don't tell me what to do. Like, my own parents don't come into my house and tell me what to do. So I'm not going to be forced into anything.
I got you, Rebel. And like I said before, we have to wait for the surprise. But the Yours Truly EP is out. You got to check it out. So where can we find the Yours Truly EP?
Man, it's everywhere. You can go on Apple, Pandora, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, SoundCloud. You can hit up my website, DaShawny.com. Check it out there. I mean, any and everywhere you find your normal music, it's there, baby.
Okay, so please, guys, if you check it out, the link will be in the description below. If you check it out, please let DaShawn know how you feel. It's gonna blow up, man. We're gonna hear about this. We're gonna hear about this woman next year, and she's gonna sign to a really big contract. And then I'm gonna have to like call her manager to set up interviews. Now it's like, but I interviewed you, remember? Small you was.
Hey man, you can always I'm not saying everybody, but you will always be able to hit me directly, man. I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm not that type of person. I remember people who helped me when I was, building my way up, and I don't forget those people.
You know what? And I'm glad, DaShawn, because I gotta say that right now because I feel like something special is about to happen. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just feel it in my bones. I'm like, you know what? If anybody says, yo, I was on DaShawn Shauntá first, like, nah, brother, because I got the proof. I got the receipts. The video is on my YouTube channel. Do not play with me right now. You know what I'm saying? Because this is, you know what? But I'm excited. So, So, one quick question before you wrap up.
I'm all, hey, you got me. What's up?
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about women, and I wrote a blog about this. It's on CHH now. And I said, it's a women revolution, CHH. I said, that's the one word that you could define Christian hip hop this year. And I think last year we haven't had that defining song that everybody kind of gravitate towards. It was more or less like a cultivating of just women getting opportunities from major labels in CHH. But we it's some that we know about, some that we don't.
Right. It's true.
It's some other opportunities going on. So what do you think about the women signing in CHH? What do you think about that?
I'm happy for all of them, and actually before one day announced, I remember I was talking to her at South by Southwest. I was like, "Yo, what's up? What you know? When is Reach going? You know?" And she was like, "Oh, you know." And then was like a month later, and I was like, "Ah, see." I was like, "I do it," you know.
Yeah.
Shawn is a real cool person. You know, I'm happy to see these women signing, man. It sucks that women have to fight so hard to get recognition. Male art, I won't say all, some male artists that aren't halfway as decent in their sleep, you know, get, you know, there are some, you know, there are women out there that are pushing and doing. Do you understand how hard it is to be able to put out music and make a dope music video that still is relevant and good content while keeping your clothes on?
It is super impossible in today's time, because it's like that's women in the secular world. I hate saying secular,
Sex
but the
sells.
mainstream. Yeah,
Sex
absolutely,
sells.
absolutely.
Yeah. And we're over here saying like, hey, we don't need, you know, sex to sell. And, you know, and so when I like Danielle, her last music video, I like watching music videos mostly because it just reminds me that it's possible. Like, she keeps her clothes on, she does it good, she does it gracefully, and she gets the point done, and it's still a good music video that I want to watch and that I want to keep my eye on. And, you know, we need more women in the space, because let's just be honest, there are some things and some perceptions about stuff that males might have about women that, you know, you maybe need another female to discredit, or the more they interact with women, they need to discredit. So I understand that some of the males were saying, well, you know, taking a girl on tour, we got to make sure we got to get an extra bedroom because she can't room up in the same room with the guy. You know, listen, man, if you want to sin, you will find a way to do it. It won't take two hotel rooms or one. If you want to sin, people are going to find a way to do it. So I saw that as a kind of a cop out. It's saying, oh, well, it's too, you know, like, we don't want to cause the men to fall. Sweetheart, it doesn't matter what a girl has on. Men are going to be lusting after women in fully clothed stuff. So maybe it's about time we stop putting all this, you know, burn on women, saying that, oh, if women just dress more modestly, you know, it won't cause the men to fall. Okay, I don't have any super provocative pictures or anything like that out there, and people still slide in my DM talking all kinds of crazy and whatever. I mean, I'm just being honest.
I know it's funny. No, when you funny, you just like, girls can have anything, and men still find a way. You know, saying they can have on a Big Bird costume on. And like, oh, girl, look at that beat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look at that beat.
Right. They'll still find a way to sexualize it. So while I do understand that women, I think we should be conscious of the image that we put out. I don't think it's fair to say that if I have on a shirt that has my shoulders out, oh, I want to cause you to stumble. If that shoulder is going to cause you to stumble, baby, you are already on your way, you know? Like, I'm just being honest, you're already on your way. So I think some men were hiding behind that, oh, you know, women should be kind of in their place type thing, you know, like, okay, oh, you know, a woman's place is here, not here type deal. And let's just be honest, that's an attitude that you see prevalent through a lot of churches, not just like in Christian hip hop. I mean, just through the church community in general, this idea that women are well, I mean, I understand the Bible does give an order to the family, and it does call women the weaker vessel. It doesn't say we're inferior. Okay? Yeah. Just because we're weaker doesn't mean we're inferior. But if God is the one giving me these gifts and opportunities, so I don't need, you know, so don't try to use my gender as a box to box me in. You know, I have never believed my race, my gender, anything can stop me from achieving what God has for me. And I believe that He will open up all doors. And we need more women. Like, there are girls, people out there like us that want to know somebody out there. I can't tell you how many people that I go, hey man, I didn't know I'm so happy I found someone like you. I've got fans already sending me videos of their little kids, like 2 and 3-year-old kids, listening to my stuff. And they're like, I love that I can listen to this with my kids and not worry about it saying anything crazy. not worry about it, feeding them anything you get enough of that on TV, you get enough of that on commercials. Like, I'm not here to make music that's going to feed your flesh. I'm just being honest. You can find that anywhere. In fact, you can just, your own thoughts. You don't need my help with that, but we do need help trying to fight against that. And that's what I'm here doing. And that's what these women are here doing. A lot of them are married and got kids, and they're putting the work in. And, let's just share, man. I'm just saying, like, what if your attitude is, I can't let a woman have access because she's going to take away from my fans, then again, you're already on your way out. Like, you're already losing. Like, who gave you the fans? Who gave you the opportunity? If you're that self-conscious to where you can't share because you're so afraid it's going to be snatched away from you, well, then how good are you then? Have to curious yourself.
Yeah, 0 to none. But I said the same thing you're saying. I said the fact that, men were saying, because men, let's face it, most of these Christian hip hop labels are owned by men, you know what I'm saying, who are artists themselves. And like you said, so a lot of these different beliefs, and this is just my opinion, I think a lot of these beliefs were like I said, out of fear, but also just out of ignorance, if you can't tour with a girl because the simple fact that y'all can't ride in the same car, like you said, then you need to check your heart and check yourself, because it's a business.
Feel like you're gonna sleep with her, like,
yeah, it's like, first of all, that's what boundaries are for, and two, you know what I'm saying, don't be stupid. And I think a lot of people, would be stupid, like, well, I'm a married man, me and her, we could just kind of drive 12 hours together at the same time, what I'm saying? It's like, no, because don't be stupid.
But I mean, women should do. But here's the thing: the women, we're gonna do stuff that's smart. Like, if I go on tour, I'm not gonna, if there's no other girls going, I'm taking somebody I know with me, even if even if I take one of my brothers who's a guy, whatever, my little bro, whatever. Once they see my older brother, my big old 6 foot, big old older brother, I'm pretty sure I won't have any issues. I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna bother me. Or I'll take my sister, or I take my cousin. There's things that you can do to be smart about this, because Mary and Martha, them two together were around Jesus, with just them three, but those two were together. So just be smart and just think about these things. There is if you don't want to, what's what I'm trying to think of, that scripture is God. Well, basically, to sum it up, anytime you're being tempted, God always gives you a way of escape. Okay,
absolutely.
So sit down and think about your ways of escape. So yes, give the women their own separate room. So, you might have to ride in the car, for 3 or 4 hours, but it's pretty simple. If y'all are that, like, freaked out about it, then let the women ride on one road, let the men ride, on another. But I mean, for what I'm seeing, like, when I interact with a lot of these artist dudes are married, and I've met their wives. Out of respect for the sanctity of their marriage, like, what kind of person do you think I am that I want to sleep? I want to sleep with your husband? Like, I'm trying to go to heaven too, girl. Like,
yeah. He's not worth it. My salvation. I got you now, and I feel like
he's not for me.
Nah.
He's not for me.
And I feel like this. And I feel like women are going to have a bigger role, and I think that they are going to be the key to helping Christian hip hop get their act together, because a lot of guys, they don't get along, and there's a lot of bickering and arguing underneath the scenes. And I think that women can, like, look here, if we can do this and we can show that it's profitable, which I think it can, because I think that it ties in already to the women revolution in hip hop in general. You have a lot of women MCs groups that are winning,
That's true.
because of
City
some fact
Girls is big right now. Yeah, I just listened to them for the first time like a couple of weeks ago. I never heard this stuff, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah. They'll get, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, they speak for, and they empower women that feels just like them. And even though the content and the music is not there, like, it's really.
But look, are they really speaking for women that speak like them? Because they talking about how they don't need guys, and they got a whole family or a whole boyfriend and are pregnant. So don't believe the hype. That's the best thing I can tell you. Like, you better role model yourself after somebody that's for real, like that's really practicing what they preach. Because some of these artists will be out here. Some of the stuff that you see is like staged, like they know it's gonna get clicks. So they stage it. Some of these artists like I said, I think I tweeted this out a while ago. Some of these artists, and I'm not saying that they do this in Christian hip hop, but in the mainstream for sure, these artists are friends. They go, hey, let's stage a beef. We know this to get the media talking. And then as soon as this beef blows up, oh, we're friends now. By the way, I'm dropping a new single or a new EP. Check it out. And, you know, something like that. It's marketing.
Yeah.
People are playing on your emotions, and it's straight up marketing. But I will say in CHH, because it's a smaller community, when people do beef, unfortunately, I have seen it too many times hashed out on a social media platform.
Yeah.
And I think that our community, probably we need to hash it out behind the scenes, because a lot of these artists have each other's numbers or email. Like, if I'm that bothered by something you said, I'm not going to go at you on social media. I'm just going to pick up my phone, text you, call you, and work it out with you. There one time I hashed it kind of, I didn't really like get into it with anybody, but I responded to something someone said on, you know, and it played out. Initially, it didn't play out as well, but as soon as me and the other person I was tweeting realized, like, hey, this was just a misunderstanding and neither one of us meant any harm. We DM'd each other privately. We worked it out. We reconciled in love. And within, I want to say 10 minutes, I'll be general. I mean that. I'll say an hour of our first initial misunderstanding, we're about cool, and I don't hold it against them, they don't hold it against me, and we were able to move forward. But the sad part was people that were watching that on Twitter, they don't know what's going on, and there's still people holding on and like mad at me or mad at them, you know, vice versa, holding grudges and stuff against them, and we've already reconciled and moved on, and we're going on, and they're still sitting over here angry and mad. So I'm just saying, like, I don't like to see beef like that hashed out on a public platform. Like, if you really have that big of an issue with something, reach out to them. Like, if you're not going to say anything to try to, like, you know, I just don't think that you should say it in public unless, you know, I don't know. That's just me. I wouldn't do that to somebody because I don't like being openly embarrassed. So I don't like to openly embarrass people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that you say some great, awesome things, and it's and I think as your career grows, I think that because of the lessons that you're learning now, it's gonna help you in the future. So just
in that phone number, I just, you know, that's why those artists. That's why, have you noticed that some of these bigger artists, it seems like everything they post is so cookie cutter. So it's a Bible scripture, something inspirational, like look in the mirror. You know, your worst enemy is staring back. You know, something that's super generic. That they don't go into details and stuff like that because it's. I mean, once you reach to a certain level, like you just don't have the energy. If you were to be like 100% authentically yourself on these social media platforms, the amount of pushback and judgment you would get, it would just be too much of an emotional drain. So it's almost easier to not post anything at all, or if you post something, it's super generic, just uplifting, like, oh, don't forget Jesus loves you today, like not being able to be yourself. You do have artists that don't care, like Cardi B, she just like, whatever, I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah, facts.
But I'm saying, like, yeah, you will in Christian hip hop, a lot of, as they get bigger, they really don't post controversial stuff because also if they're signed, now the label's like, hey, look, can't be making negative waves, you know, you can't post this. I think of No Big Deal. I don't know if you saw this, but it was like a couple months ago, last year, one of his shows, I can't remember what state it was, got canceled because he referenced Trump in one of his songs.
It was in I don't remember what he said in Trump, but the funny thing was in South Carolina.
Oh, and they canceled it because he referenced. So I'm saying, like, we're in this such a politically, socially perfect charged climate to where, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have said stuff on my Twitter, and I've got that. Hey man, I love you, Doc. Doc he'll be like, he'll just hit me and be like, delete that. He's like, that doesn't. He's like, I get what you're trying to mean by it, but I don't think that that's how it's gonna come across. And I'll be like, oh, okay, you know, I just listened to him. Like, all right, bet, you know, because I'm not trying to, like, you know, we're not trying to cause controversy and stir the pot, because that's like at least in our genre, that's like, that pushes people away. And you want to be, or at least online, as amazing and as presentable as possible. You don't want to look like you're a magnet for controversy. So
Yeah.
just be honest.
It looks bad on the artist, and I think that once you get that reputation, it's hard to shake that.
Oh, and there's already some artists that got their reputation, and they have no idea that if a label does sign them, they're probably gonna make them delete their whole account and just start all over again, so people can't even go back up and like pull up like past pictures or past videos or something like that, because they have just dug themselves in such a hole, because they just say so much stuff all the time, just and it's not benefiting or helping, anything. And so
Absolutely.
I hate to see that, man. I do.
So it's like I said, it's all good. I think that it is going to be great. It's going to be great. So, but DaShawn,
It's great.
like Tony Tiger. Oh man, I love Tony Tiger Frosted Flakes. I had to stop eating cereal because they're so sugary, and I didn't know that. I eat half a box in a day.
That's your biggest mistake. You're eating Frosted Flakes when you should be eating Apple Jacks. Now, see, if you're not eating Apple Jacks or Lucky Charms, or Golden Grams, I mean, then why are you even allowed to blog on YouTube? I'm confused.
I got you. I love Golden Grams, Lucky Charms, of course, because of the name. No pun intended. And people was like, "Is Lucky Charms your?" When I was younger, people like, "Is Lucky Charms your favorite cereal?" Lucky? No, it's not my favorite cereal.
You should play on that. Make some merch. Make some merch out of that. Lucky Charms.
I want to, but I don't want to get sued. So I got to figure out a way where I can do it. Where you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Because if I get too big, then I don't want a lawsuit.
So
DaShawn, it was awesome talking with you. Like I said before, the album, yours truly, a summer EP, which is only 2 songs, which should be a single. Because back in the day, that was a single. It was.
I'll be honest with you; those 2 songs are meant to meld together. I split them up, but in my head, originally, it was supposed to go from 98 and transition in to Mild Sauce. So they are actually like one big long song that I'll split into 2. So you're not wrong. The fact that you caught on to that, kudos for you. You have
what? You know what? Because I have to listen to it. So y'all check it out. The link will be in the description below. But again, it is the entertainer, the motivator, the educator, Lucky Miriam with DaShawn Shauntà. This is she dropped the new EP. Go check it out. And people, I will see you until next time. Woo. Let me see.